So, one of the reasons I like Twitch is the immediacy of talking to your friends, your community, and getting that feedback instantly. One of the things that doesn't help me with YouTube personally when I like watch a lot of gaming channels is it's kind of isolating feeling. You put comments in, a lot of times you might get response and stuff, but I like to respond in video, like in that kind of way. It just feels more in person. So that kind of answers one of these questions right away. But I'm gonna go ahead through and answer a good question here from Introvert Plays in the last video. And he left a comment about my top three games of 2019 all being Switch games. And he said, "Damn, Switch is really your platform of choice this year. Are you done with PC altogether? Or was there nothing appealing for you on PC? I thought you might like Disco Elysium." I heard really good things about Disco Elysium. However, I heard there's a lot of reading. It's really wordy. I'm somebody that has sort of like dyslexic problems with reading, so it's kind of an exhausting venture for me to get into when it comes to like really wordy stuff like that. And so I think that would almost seem like more of a chore to me. And I'm more of a fan of easy to understand, easy to play, difficult to master. So I still like a lot of those like really old arcade games like Centipede and stuff. I like Rocket League because of that reason. But also I've missed Nintendo stuff for quite a few years now. I've not had a Nintendo system for a long time. And I grew up on Nintendo. I grew up with the characters. So somebody like Mario is just as synonymous to me as Mickey Mouse is to cartoons with me, for instance. So there's a connection there. There's a little bit of nostalgia. That's part of the reason why I've gone back to a Nintendo device in a lot of ways. There's a couple other ones too, but I still do play PC games. I just got finished playing Jedi Fallen Order. I play PUBG from time to time, still here and there. And actually, I've found it fun to go back into Overwatch. I really enjoy Overwatch. But truth be told, there's not any real one particular reason why I've decided to go mostly Switch for my gaming. It is a multitude of things, actually. I found myself in the past couple of years away from my PC for different grown up reasons, so to speak, and really chomping at the bit to play something and couldn't. And so when I saw this thing come out, it was just like the perfect storm at the right time. The fact that I can take it with me, but then still put it on a TV and have that experience. I actually missed just gaming on my couch and not in an office chair, just being relaxed, sitting there with like, a soda or something and just enjoying my time. So that's it. This just hits like a lot of marks for me. I think it's not dissimilar. I think Nintendo knows that. If you look at like when they first showed this off, like in the video, it was basically a guy's playing Zelda. His dog needs to get walked. He puts the Joy-Cons in. He takes it with him. And while his dog's out like in the park doing his thing, he's sitting there playing some more Zelda. And the fact that it can like you can be in the middle of a game and you can just put it to sleep, wake it right back up, go back to it. It's really, I know Nintendo's seen a lot of times as like a kiddie thing, but it's really conducive to adult mentalities too and adult responsibilities. So that's part of the reason. The other thing is I've always found mobile technology fascinating. The fact that they can cram like Witcher in a 10-watt chip. That's amazing to me. And then one of the things I've really missed with PC gaming is like you can build up these collections really cheaply and everything, but you don't actually really have anything to show for it besides I have this hard drive or SSD with games full on it. And so I felt like the way digital's going and the fact that we have streaming coming up with gaming pretty soon, I really see a point where physical is going to be completely going away. And so for two reasons, like this physical collection back here, I really just wanted to have one last hurrah of a physical collection. Remember having all the cartridges back in the day and the fact that there's still this around. I want to enjoy it while it's still around and build it up and have something to look at, be like, look, this is cool that I have this and it'll always be there. The other thing is too is that they're on cartridges. I've collected physical media before on optical, so basically CDs, DVDs, Blu-rays, and BitRot tends to get those where all of my cartridge-based stuff is always kind of stuck around. And then thirdly, there's a lot of companies like Limited Run that are into games preservation on physical media, and they're putting out a lot of games and stuff like indie games and all that on the system. So like a lot of stuff I really enjoy, like Iconoclats, Dust and Elysian Tale, for instance, Thumper, all that stuff's like on a physical card up there, and I'll have access to it all this time. So, yeah. So that answers part one of your question. And also keep in mind, like, none of this stuff that I'm doing, like, on YouTube, not that I think a lot of people see, because if you look at the way PC is now, like, everything's marketed towards gaming. Like, you have a gaming motherboard, even though the motherboard has nothing to do with the gaming side of it. It's just a pathway for everything else to kind of work. This microphone, HyperX, is a gaming microphone, even though it's just a microphone. There's nothing specifically gaming about it besides this cool red light. And there is a part of me that's found that a little annoying in some ways, having be an older guy and have grown up with a PC and stuff like that. There was none of that. They were just beige, and they were basically for anything from playing games to tax blasting, and they still technically are to this day. For me, PC is almost kind of lean from gaming to more like content creation tool. So I'm still very much into the tech. I'm still very much into that side of it. But it's still jack of all trades, but it's kind of become more my content creation tool. And it's very important to me to have a device set up and ready where I can have the microphone, I can have the camera, I can have the Stream Deck out and ready to go, and just hit a couple buttons and be recording and making content in a couple minutes and edit it real quick and get it up on YouTube or get it up on Twitch. Okay, and then Introvert Plays, after I told him I was going to be making a video on this, he also followed up with saying, yes, I was kind of baffled to see that because I was a big fan of your trial run shows with Brian from Bad Seed Tech. I remember your PC hardware talks really fondly. I really miss your guys' weekly addition to my everyday life. And as I saw this video, I realized that a lot must have changed in your gaming life. Yeah, it did, actually. So just like I said, I found myself like in waiting rooms and stuff a lot, and a lot of my time being sucked up by other day-to-day events that made it so I couldn't be here. So yeah, you're 100% right about that. Only learned through this video that you are maining Twitch as your platform of content. Unfortunately, Twitch is really not mine, though. Maybe I should check it out. Check out some of your VODs. I'll talk about that in a second. But yeah, I really miss Brian's and your talks about games, hardware, as well as news and all these departments. It reminded me of Tech Syndicate's Crit Show, which reminds me of Tech Syndicate's old show, honestly. What was it? Just the Tech? Which I love too, but okay, sorry. I have to go in to read more. But apparently they stopped that now too. A lot of my favorite gaming podcast formats are going away. Thank you for answering, though. I look forward to that video. Okay. So the reason I like to go to Twitch is it feels like I'm hanging out with my friends. We're hanging out, we're having a discussion. Matter of fact, I'm starting to take the category of just chatting more seriously, which is no gameplay, just being on the camera, just hanging out with people and talking. And that's really why I started, is just like being somebody that's like insanely lonely, it's really hard to find people in kind of like my niche area of like what interests me, just like out in the wild. So finding that through the internet's been much easier. Finding it and then gathering that place, like bringing people like you and all that over to Twitch to have like a little discussion just on the fly while we're playing video games or just chatting or something like that. I really enjoy that immediacy. It's like, how cool is it that like somebody that you like really like as a content creator or something, you can just sit there and just type like, hey, what do you think about this? And I can say, well, Introvert Plays, it's like yada yada this. But there's a lag time, or sometimes not even a response with some of the bigger channels when it comes to that. But Twitch is a different beast than YouTube, and I get that. Like, even just from creating content on it, it's not the same. So like, I see a lot of really good YouTubers out there, really good at like coming up with a plan, a script, shooting something, but they're really terrible at live streaming. I've seen that with some of these tech guys. I've seen that with like Casey Neistat when he tried to live stream. It is a completely different beast, and but maybe give it a shot. I would say don't watch the VODs because I don't really cater to make the VODs good or anything like that. So on Twitch, when you're doing a Twitch live stream, it's interesting because if you play any kind of music or anything like that, you have to be careful because they'll mute the VOD. So I would say don't try to experience it through the VODs, try to experience it live because that's the best way to experience Twitch. When you go there and you're just looking at the bigger streamers that they're trying to push and stuff like that, it's hard to see the appeal because those bigger streamers are being bombarded by sometimes hundreds, if not thousands of people at once in the chat. And it's really impossible to maintain that. So I would say like try a smaller stream and see how you feel about it when somebody's actually interacting in the chat. Interaction is key to that kind of format and something that a lot of people even on Twitch don't understand or really get. So, all right. So Introvert Plays, thank you very much. I think that pretty much answers all your questions. But yeah, it was this lifestyle change and not being able to start my games and really kind of be able to finish them very easily because I was all over the place. So having to be all over the place and take this with me made it a lot easier, and nostalgia and all those other things. All right, guys, and so that's it for this video. I just wanted to make a little response to that. If you have any questions, put them down below. I'll be happy to answer anything that comes up that I find really interesting, or I can like maybe dive into a little bit more. There's nothing I could really do in text that would really answer all these questions very easily. So that's why I did this today. So have a great day. I'll see you guys in the next video, and I'll be streaming later tonight. So bye.